Hi everybody, this is going to be a little craft room tour, well, craft workspace tour. It's not really a room, well I guess it is a room. My room is kind of shared with my kitchen. So this is where I work, and because I don't just hobby craft, it's part of my job, it's probably going to be a little bit messy. And I'm not going to go through every single box, but I'm just going to show you the basics. So I'm going to stand really far back, try and get as much of this room in. I started decorating this room, hence the tree in the corner, but never got around to actually finishing it. And we're actually changing it all this year, changing all my storage, changing all my workspace, so there was no point me finishing it. Okay, you come in from my living room, which is through there, and you walk into this doorway which is shared with my kitchen, and the table there is where my kids sometimes eat, but usually where I craft. And we have on this side some of the necklaces that I still have to package, some earrings I have to package, a couple of my display stands that I have nowhere to put, and my mold machine, and these red drawers. In fact, here's my sewing machine, and in that pink box is fabric. So in my drawers, in this drawer is like packaging, gift packaging for when people buy an order. And here is diamantes and adhesives, and I think that's all that's in there. It's all different adhesives and all different rhinestones and diamantes. Then we come down here. I need to move stuff. And this drawer is tools. I don't even know what's in there. Random things. Oh, this is my random drawer. Tools, things for future subscription boxes, clay, laminator, and just random things that I have nowhere else to put. There's feathers and things for making canvases and projects. There's dollies for making into random things. This is just kind of like a bit odds and ends set of drawers. Sewing stuff. These are little clay like pots and vases for when I do fairy themed. Some Christmas elves. Some random broken jewellery for when I do my mixed media canvases with all my jewellery. And this drawer is all ribbon, and it was a lot neater, but I've been rummaging through it, so that's all kinds of ribbon. And then put these back. That's just one of my bags. Now it's just a bag of random cans and things for when I'm needing containers to store things. Under my desk is my shredder, boxes of beads, and a box of stickers, random paints that I haven't used in a while, more beads, sewing threads, and some Christmas bits and bobs that I was working on. And this is where my plugs are, and my box of resin that I've still to finish. So these are like jewellery in process and things that are needing sanded or glazed. This is where I sit and do most of my work, and this is today's art journal page, yesterday's art journal page. And over here we've got this rack which holds one of my lights for when I'm making artwork, because it's really quite dull over here, so I need lots of lights. My heat tool, some things for my subscription boxes, pieces of wood, just random crap that when I can't find anywhere else to put it, they go there until I find space for them. And all these drawers, I've got glitters, dried flowers, embossing powders. Those three little drawers under there are frames and acrylic blocks and other things. And over here we've got more glitter, pigments, and more glitter, I think. Yeah. This is a box of stamps and ink pads. This is sewing stuff that I keep handy because I do quite a lot of sewing. In this corner is all my tools for when I make wax melts, and in the back is all my dies for when I make I can't even speak when I make my wax melts. This is some wax melt pies that I've made. I'm making a huge mess. So clumsy. Okay, this set of shelves here is pretty much when I create any sort of artwork or canvases or my art journal, I keep all that kind of stuff over here. So I've got my paints, gel pens, they are metallic paints, they're all acrylic paints. These are all different coloured Sharpies. Behind there I've got my Faber-Castell watercolour sticks. Up here we've got paintbrushes, more paintbrushes, Sharpie pens, my gel pens that I like to use for outlining, pens and pencils, nail files, just all the stuff related to either resin or drawing. And then I've got charcoals, and down in this box is pastels, some colourful fine line pens, cocktail sticks for when I'm doing my resin, a furry pom-pom for no reason, just because it's cool and I've dropped it, punches for when I'm doing my packaging. This is one of my favourite punches ever, and there's a few punches in there. These are my measuring spoons for when I do my resin, small scissors and detailing scissors. This is, what is this? Oh yeah, more paints. That's watercolour paints, but just cheap ones for when my kids craft with me. This is like erasers, rubbers and random things my children keep leaving on my desk. This is a box of things I use in my art journals for texture. So like, can't get it out in one hand, bubble wrap and sort of textured things for dipping in paint and stamps. This box here is all buttons. This is all craft mats and things. Down here I've got my children's coloured pens for when they craft with me. On my desk I've got my mat for when I'm doing resin. This one's covered in resin, and I've got another craft mat up there for actual cutting that I keep clean. And then in these two drawers, these are all my tools. So there's like every tool imaginable in there. And this is supplies such as staples, staple gun, bulbs for my lamps, some more tools and pens and pencils that I've got no space for. See, I'm not very neat. Down there's my resin, and in the box next to that is tags, my bin. This is my molds. I used to have 5 boxes like this of molds, but I really cut back and I only have 1 box now. These are all the molds I use the most for my resin. Over here we've got, this is, I actually can't remember what's in it. Oh, that's all tissue papers. It says keyrings, charms and necklaces and stuff. It's only because I haven't changed the labels. I took this to a fair with me and it had all my items. This is all images and packaging that's all mixed up that I need to sort through because we've moved from upstairs to downstairs and didn't sort it out. This one's stuck. Oh, I think what's in there are gift bags and paper bags and just packaging supplies for when I sell something. This is my tape drawer. Lots and lots of tape. Up here, this is my basket of things to be dealt with. It's all letters and stuff to be put away that I've printed off, and my purse. Isn't it cute? And it's just, this is kind of like my inbox. Then up here, this unit right in the middle, which is really long and goes all the way to the floor, but you can't see it behind this thing, although this is on wheels. Whee! See? And this is how I separate all my most used supplies for making my jewellery. Everything is labelled: sequins, metal roses, sands, coconut for putting in resin, marble paints, paper roses, and this is just some for resin, some for doing my mixed media canvases, and just any craft project. I used to do a lot of fairy furniture and fairy houses too, so I've got a lot of things like grass, toadstools, nutshells which look like stones, moss and gravel, and they were all from making fairy things, but they also go in my resin. Next desk, this is my computer. And behind my computer there's lots of just computery stuff. Can't even say it. These are my pet snails that my dear friend made me. And I've got 4. I've got 2 rainbow ones and 2. Oh, he's lost a little antenna. Oh dear, I need to find it and fix it. But these are my snails. These are my favourite ones, see? Zanzo, is it Zanzo? Zanzo Arts? Oh no, I can't remember the name. I'm so bad. In fact, I think it's on the bottom of them. There we go. Zanzo Arts on Facebook. She makes really, really cute little things like snails. I also have a goldfish by her, a black moor goldfish. They're just really cute, right? So over here we've got jewellery findings. So this is for when I make all my jewellery that I sell on my store. This is things like ring bases and hair clips. I like to keep a supply of everything and don't run out. Up here's kind of all my paperwork. I've got my receipts box for like my tax returns. I've got my tax returns from years before. I've got notepads, paperwork, stickers and things. Just anything to do with keeping running my business. This is 2 boxes of nail varnish, and I know it's kind of random to have boxes of nail varnish in your craft room, but I do paint my nails practically every day, even though sometimes it doesn't look like it, because working with the resin I use acetone all the time to clean up and it takes my nail polish off. But I also use the resin in my arts and crafts, in my resin and on media canvases, because you can make really cute little enamel looking things. Right, over here there's my video prop that I keep forgetting to use, that was made by Lasered by Design on Facebook. Some art pieces that I've made. Nothing in there, I think that was empty, and I think in there is lots of dried wood and bark and really cool sort of earthy things for when I make fairy furniture. A canvas that I made. That noise is my dog. If you're wondering what that noise is, it's my dog. Down here is just, this is like images that I've drawn that I then scan and use to make cards and things. It's got an adult colouring book for inspiration and just some doodles and things. It's pretty much where I just keep images that I print off or I draw when I'm doodling and I want to use later on. This mess over here is pretty much where I keep orders, package and post. So there's printer paper beside it, there's boxes and envelopes and clear bags in here, and that's cards and greeting cards and postcards for putting thank you notes in. That's just more canvases. That's knitting needles and crochet hooks and skewers for resin, that is. My light box when I take pictures, and I keep cocktail sticks in there, excess amount of cocktail sticks. And this is all DIY kits that I've been putting together for a fair. And then that's just like patterns and craft magazines and order forms, and up there is my cardboard shelves for the fairs and some tissue paper wrapping. Down under my desk that I rarely sit at, even though my computer's on it, is a big huge bag of wool. This blue box is assorted felt, and then on top of it loads of wadding from a project I've done recently. This I think is all stationery and paperwork. Yeah, this is when I do my taxes. This is all like calculators, paperwork, highlighters, that kind of thing. And this is just the random drawer. It's like my old camcorder, it no longer works, and total randomness. I don't even know what I'd call that drawer. Then under here is my really manky paper punch, some spray sealers, some glues that I don't use as much, some tissue paper that was given to me recently that I haven't put away, and lots of wood for making my little art things, hangers. So for making things like this, I make these, which is all done on wood. This one isn't finished, it needs chain on the top for like this kind of thing. So I think that's pretty much, I've got another cupboard behind me actually. I've got this one here, but it's so messy I'm not even going to open it. This is my plastic for making molds. It's usually in that cupboard. My daughter's desk to go up to her room, which is just sitting there till I sand it down and paint it. And my table, which my children have been drawing today. And my son started his own art journal. But it's not like the biggest craft room. It's not got the most stuff I've seen. I don't even think I showed what was all up here. This is all wax melt stuff. This is moss and hair for my unicorns I sometimes make. This is all acetones, cotton pads and things for cleaning when I do resin. And over here is all sprinkles and measuring cups and molds. So I use both in my wax melts and in my resin. That's all nail files and sandpaper. This one's all wire. Sitting up there just now is a tray with all my brooches that are on Etsy. As you can see, this is all my templates for making my own molds. This box is all my earrings that are on Etsy, and this is all, not Etsy, sorry, my online store, and this is all brooches and necklaces and everything that's on my online store is up here just now, and that's all my wax melts that I've not even listed. Over here we've got some acrylic sealer, glossy accents and a couple of acrylic mediums. I think one's float medium, one's crackle medium. Yeah, I actually did have a heck of a lot more stuff up until a year ago. I used to work in a workshop out in my garden. In fact, I could probably show you it. I walk this way. I can barely make it out under the blind. That was my workshop. Come back over here. And we had a massive storm and it ripped some of the roof off, and then it rained and hailed and poured for a complete 2 weeks that I couldn't get my stuff out of there. And when I did finally go out and start packing up my stuff to take it back in here, I found hundreds of damage. Mold had started to spread through my supplies. Lots of stuff had got so wet, and then we'd had snow and ice and had frozen, and a lot of containers had frozen and then cracked, so there was like paint everywhere. I lost, I'd say, about 70% of my supplies about a year ago, and it was heartbreaking. I was devastated. So this is where I'm at now, and I refuse to go back out there even if it gets all repaired, because it could happen again and I don't want to do that. So this is where I'm at just now, starting again with what I have and slowly building my supplies again. And this is my workspace for now, but like I said, we're working on it this year and it's all going to be changed because we're ripping out our kitchen for a new kitchen, and the old kitchen we're going to recycle and use on this side of the room. So I'll be doing another craft tour once I've got all that sorted. So for now, this is my craft room. It's not the best, but it's functional and I make lots of good stuff.